I am about to go to sleep because it's fairly late over here. But I very quickly just wanted to kind of make a little video. Well, it's more like a yap, really. I just wanted to yap. It's probably going to be a bit messy, very unstructured because I haven't written any notes or whatever. But I pretty much just kind of wanted to comment on the general wave of pessimism that seems to kind of be like this weird accent, like with Gen Z, my generation in particular. Now, I'm not claiming to be some kind of like Jesus type or whatever. Um, but I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of people have this sort of like post depression, post pessimism sort of attitude, which is kind of just like, hey, look, we all know everything's like scuffed, and we can't do anything about it. And I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know. I definitely am a serial optimist, and I definitely love the idea of constantly just glazing the shit out of possibilities. You know what I mean? Like, I love the idea of sitting there thinking, hey, but wait, what if? You know what I mean? Like, what if things actually do kind of work out? And I don't know. I just sort of like I know that there's lots to be pissy about. I know that there's lots of bad news coming out all the time, wars, famines, droughts. This person's making this thing, and this person did this, and da 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 da, etc. But I do genuinely kind of think that some amount of just perspective shifting needs to be had, dude. I really do think that. I think that you know when we kind of just like sit at our screens and endlessly scroll all day and all night, we're constantly just being fed like the worst of the worst, right? Everyone remembers the Feb 26th incident where, for the uninitiated, basically, I don't I barely even know what happened. As in, like, I know what happened, but I don't know if they switched the freaking like service for Instagram content and for Live League, but everyone's feeds were just like absolutely flooded with like the worst gore imaginable, like the craziest things ever, right? I even remember like looking into my feed and I'm just like, what the hell is this? Like, who put this here? You know what I mean? A lot of people's feeds were pretty much assaulted by just an perpetual stream of just gore and violence. And I think it's so interesting as well because Instagram is a place that has this really weird relationship with censorship, but we'll get to that maybe in another video at some point, right? Anyways, so you're constantly just like consuming all of this like evil and this rot and this darkness, right? At some point, that's bound to psychologically hollow you out. I know that, again, the current state of the world, the political and economic state of the world, I know that the current state of the world isn't exactly the most favorable, but I don't think us kind of moping about it is going to do anything. I'm just being straight up. Get that having a fatalistic attitude about the state of things is a very Gen Z attitude to have. But at the same time, it really, like, if we just kind of like sit still and be passive about all of the things that are happening to us and to the world, I really don't think. Um, I believe that we kind of deserve whatever we get for being passive. That's kind of just it. I really do believe in the adage that evil wins when good men do nothing. And you could even expand that to evil wins when good people do the absolute, like, bare minimum, not even, right? I think that sharing infographics on Instagram is cute, but it does nothing, right? Having people see nothing but trauma porn day in and day out does nothing for anyone, really. I think activism is good and it is important to be informed about the darkness that is going on in the world, but don't get consumed by it. I think that's where people sort of don't really know where to make the distinction. Like, on one hand, yeah, sure, it's great that you know that this messed up shit is going on, but why are you sitting in like a stew of videos about this? You know what I mean? I'm not saying that we should be like immune to the suffering of others, quite the contrary, but I don't think that just constantly navel gazing about it will do anything for us. I actually think that we should more or less just kind of strive to actually like be lights in our communities. And if you don't have either, you should make friends and go out, be social and do cool stuff. I think that we should put more of what we love into the world, and we should put more of our hobbies out into the world. We should put our, you know, all of our greatest likes and our dreams and our hopes, all that stuff. I really think that we can't get enough of not necessarily happiness, but like optimism. I think that people are kind of like way too depressive espresso about generally nothing all the time. And I think we need like the energetic opposite of that. We need more of that put out into the world. It's kind of a bit of a yap, but yeah, I'm just gonna call it a night at the moment. I don't really think that people should spend as much time in gloom as we do. I really don't think that I don't think that the future is as set in stone as some people would have us believe. I really don't. I don't think that, you know, the bad ending or the worst possible ending is like inevitable. I really think that like at some point if we just kind of intervene, and it might not necessarily look like us doing anything crazy, right? Like you don't have to, get bitten by a radioactive spider and acquire like superpowers overnight in order to stop the evils going on in the world. I just think that we should be a little more aware of who we are, a little more willing to improve ourselves, and a little more willing to improve our communities and those around us. Um, it might not be the most perfect solution, but I definitely think it is a start. Like, go plant a tree, go read a book with some friends, go start that, social club you've always wanted to. Go busk in the city and like make people happy with your music. Go and do things that will actually inspire color in the world. And do your best to not let the darkness consume you.